It's been a lonely road to the top for Gordon Singleton, and along it he's fought with what he's seen as the rank amateurism of the Canadian Cycling Association.
The people that run the sport are amateur in their approach and everything, so consequently it reflects onto the riders. Sometimes you feel embarrassed, you know, that you're from Canada. Not embarrassed because of the athletes, you know, because they train hard and they do their best, but embarrassed because, you know, they're going to finish last or down the list, you know, whereas we have the potential to win medals.
But recriminations are now behind Gordon Singleton as he faces the toughest challenge of his career. Here at Leicester, he'll battle the finest cyclists in the world, and the stakes will be enormous. In Europe and Japan, professional cyclists can become millionaires. The interest in the sport there is as great as the passion felt by Canadians for hockey. The best coach in all of Britain is 71-year-old Eddie Soanes. He's been preparing Singleton for this moment since 1975.
After less than 4 months of training, and he was only 18, he went back to Canada and he became the champion of Canada. It meant nothing. Now, I'm not insulting the Canadians, but that meant nothing, you see. So, right away, they pick him for the World Championship. And as soon as they picked him, he came back over to England. I said, now, this is okay, but you're going to get such a bloody shock because you'll wonder where these fellas have gone when you're racing against them. And he got the shock, but he was prepared for it. Now, I said, by 1979, you can be a top bike rider, but that's how long it's going to take. And that's how long it took. And by 1979, he was second in the championship of the world.
Would Gordon Singleton be within grasp of the World Sprint Championship if he had stayed in Canada?
No way. There would be no chance whatsoever.
Singleton's first World Championship event, the Kirin. Invented by the Japanese, this is a tough, often vicious race in which the cyclists are paced for the first 4 laps by a motorbike. The relationship between Soanes and Singleton is closer to that between a father and son than a coach and athlete. If anyone wants this race as much as Gordon Singleton, it's Eddie Soanes. On the final lap, Singleton, on the outside in blue, makes his move. With his natural speed and his enormous strength, he wins by the width of a tire. For Eddie Soanes, it's a dream come true.
Oh! Oh, great! Oh!
First, number 14, Gordon Singleton, Canada.
Yes, sir. Yes, good. Good ride.
I'm going to get up tomorrow morning, eat breakfast like I did today.
Tremendous. Congratulations. Can we take your hand?
In the packed stands at Leicester Stadium are Singleton's family, who have flown from Niagara Falls, as well as a small but loudly devoted group of Canadian cycling fans.
We've done it.
Fantastic.
At the end of his lap of honor, as Singleton embraces his wife Luann, his parents, and his sister, he thanks them for believing that a kid from Niagara Falls could become the first Canadian ever to win a World Cycling Championship.
Kiss your mother. All right.
Probably about the only thing you could possibly relate it to would be like a kid from France coming over to America when he's 18, and now he's the best baseball player in the New York Yankees or in the whole league. My wife has stuck by me tremendously, and it has been a bit of a strain on her. She comes from quite a close-knit family, you know, and all of a sudden here's me and I do everything just for my sport, you know, and it's been, you know, a real strain on her, but I hope to make amends soon.
Well, it takes a lot of patience and tolerance and understanding. You have to always believe in what he's doing and know why he's there and know that someday...
Is that difficult sometimes?
Yes, it is. It is. It really is. But you always have to believe that someday it's going to be worthwhile, and now today it is. So it makes it pay off what he's done, all the loneliness.
It's 2 days later, and having sailed through his preliminary heat, Singleton prepares for the final in the sprint. He'll face Koichi Nakano of Japan, the millionaire world champion, fast and ruthless. This race will not only be a test of Singleton's speed, but of his courage and determination.
Kids from Niagara Falls are not supposed to end up as the best bicycle rider in the world.
Why is that? You tell me.
After 10 years of training, it's all come down to this. Gordon Singleton against 5-time champion Koichi Nakano of Japan to prove who is the best sprinter in the world.
The first race of the best-of-3 World Sprint Final. The first 2 laps of the sprint are almost leisurely as the riders jockey for position. But after the bell, they suddenly increase speed. And by the time they hit the last 200 meters, they're clocking speeds of up to 50 miles an hour. An error of judgment here can be critical.
You don't disqualify him for that.
Well, the skins are...
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm okay.
While Singleton's injuries are treated, track officials study the slow-motion replay. They rule that Nakano rode into Singleton, knocking him off his bike, and they award the race to the Canadian. The Japanese immediately appeal the decision, and the officials again study the tape of the race. All Singleton can do now is wait to see whether he's one major step closer to the world sprint title.
The first place, the jury of appeal have now consulted all the elements at their disposition, and their decision is to annul the decision of the panel of commissaires, and we will rerun.
The jury of appeal changes its mind. It annuls the first race. It must be rerun. If the Japanese appeal had not been upheld, Gordon Singleton would now be only one victory away from the World Championship. But he tries to put the controversy behind him and concentrates on what he has to do to win this race. Around the track, it only heightens the suspense. On the final lap, Singleton makes his move first. And for the rest of the race, all Nakano can do is follow him across the line. There's excitement in the air now as spectators realize that for the first time in 5 years, there could be a new world sprint champion. The pressure is now on Nakano. He knows that he has to defeat Singleton in this race, or his hold on the World Championship will be broken. And he now knows also that Singleton is the faster. If Nakano can't beat Singleton by speed, then there's only one other way he can beat him. Once again, it's Singleton who breaks first. At almost exactly the same spot on the track, Nakano put his elbow under Singleton's arm. At that speed, with no brakes, Singleton didn't have a chance. Singleton's immediate response is anger. What he doesn't know yet is the extent to which she's been injured. Again, track officials study a slow-motion recording of the incident. They see, as you can, Nakano coming down on Singleton and elbowing him off his bicycle.
Final race for the professional sprint. First, number 55, Nakano, Japan.
Where's the manager? What did he got the injection in?
The British officials treating Singleton are amazed by the Canadian team's lack of urgency in lodging a protest.
Okay, where's your bloody bosses? Why don't
They're over there.
deal?
Eventually, Eddie Sowens goes to find out what is being done.
Can you pull that, Tim?
As doctors diagnose Singleton's separated shoulder, the protest is finally made. But it does no good.
The jury of appeal, having considered all the facts and the elements concerned, have approved the decision of the College of Commissaires, and the result stands with Nakano first and Singleton second.
Nakano gets the race and the gold medal, since Singleton is too injured to ride in the third and deciding heat. British sporting journalists and a large section of the crowd called the result a travesty of justice.
No problem. Just lost a bit of skin. Stay here. Just lost a little skin. It's okay, no more. Don't wreck me anymore.
As he comforts his wife, Singleton decides he's had more than enough of the way professional cycling is run.
I've been involved in the politics in the sport before, and if that's the way they want to run it, they can have their sport, you know, and I'd be just pleased to race around Niagara Falls, you know.
And so, world champion in one event, and some still argue in two, Gordon Singleton comes home.
When I won the World Championship last week, I thought it was probably the greatest thrill of my life ever. But when I can come home to Niagara Falls and have a warm reception like this from the people from where I live, nothing can top that. It's amazing. I can't believe it.